Susan with me today. So I'm so excited to have. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you're here, I'm just going to double check that it is actually live. I'm not entirely sure if this works. I've been assured it does. So we've got Susan Piper. Susan Piper, I am a massive fan of all the cool things she does. I first met her when she came to, I think it was my visual storytelling course last year, was it?
Yeah. I first met you at IATEFL. You did a short course for IATEFL. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Was that the graphic facilitation one or the one about literacy with doodles?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I remember that one. And then we did the visual storytelling one, and then you've done my visual vocabulary course as well, the online one.
Yeah.
That was the one you messaged me to say you were doing it on the beach and you were enjoying yourself doing that.
So yeah, drawing little doodles. I was in Greece.
Amazing. That's perfect. There's not many ESOL or language teaching professional development that can say that.
Yeah.
And then I think you did the one with Claire Hayward as well, the graphic organisers one, is that right?
Yes, I did that one, yeah. And I did the one about music and songs and graphics as well, yeah.
Amazing.
Well, you've really inspired me, Emily, with the graphic facilitation. I'm always looking for creative ways to get my learners to talk about stories and to sequence events. So it's just a great way for them to practice that.
Oh, amazing. Thanks. And you have inspired me as well, because you have sent me so many cool things to do. So the reason that I am cycling to IATEFL this year for the Hands Up project is because Susan Piper has told me how amazing the Hands Up project is, and she sends me little pictures and videos of amazing activities that she's drawn and that the students have drawn and lots of creative ideas. So I thought it was time to get Susan here to show you some of the amazing activities that she sends me, because she shares them in the the WhatsApp group, the Facebook group that we have for my awesome alumni, for anybody that's done any of my courses. And she shares them with me on Messenger, but I feel like they need to go to the wider world because it's very cool. But yeah, before we do that, do you want to just tell me a bit more about the Hands Up project?
Yeah, so the Hands Up project is a UK-based charity that links children in Palestine with children and volunteers throughout the rest of the world. So every Sunday I do 2 sessions, one in Gaza and one in Hebron in the West Bank. And I link up with these 2 amazing classes of kids, and we tell stories, we play games, we have fun, and they improve their English and it builds their confidence. But most of all, they feel connected with the outside world. So that's what it's all about. It's about connection, collaboration.
Yeah, it's amazing the things that you do. And I think that contact with the outside world and just meeting people, and you do a lot of remote theatre, visual storytelling, poetry. I believe there's a poetry competition at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a poetry competition at the moment. You can find out details on their Facebook page. And there's a remote theatre competition as well, and all the details are on the Facebook page, yeah.
Cool. Okay, I'll put the link to the Facebook page and I'll put the link to the Hands Up project in after. I'm not entirely sure how to do that right now. I just add it in the chat overlay.
Yeah.
Not too sure. This is my first time going live, so I'm not sure how to add it. Here, hold on. Show post. Let's see if I can add the Hands Up project links just now. I want to pause that so that people can't hear me. Okay, Alex, as you are telling your stories so that people can find out a bit more. The Hands Up project also has a conference just after IATEFL. So if you just so happen to still be around after IATEFL in Harrogate, on the Saturday, Hands Up project have a conference. I will be speaking at it. Nick Bilbrough will be speaking at it. Adrian Underhill. Who else? Linda Ruas. Trying to remember all the names off the top of my head. There's loads and loads of amazing speakers at it. Richard Chin, Maria Teresa Contunanza,
Two
Harry
teachers from Gaza, they'll be there.
I don't know how they're going to squeeze them all in.
No, I don't. It's going to be amazing. It's always a wonderful day, and you get a nice lunch, and you get time to network and hear some amazing speakers. There'll be 2 speakers from Gaza there.
Oh, amazing!
There'll be 2 teachers from Gaza there. Yeah, so it's going to be really, really good. Yeah,
and we'll get to see some of the remote theatre, won't we?
Yes, we'll get to see some remote theatre live, I think.
Oh, cool!
Yeah,
Live. Well, I didn't realise it was going to be live. Even
yeah.
more special.
Yeah. Hopefully, live from Gaza, we'll have some remote theatre, yeah.
Cool. And was there something about the Friday night having a film night?
Friday night, we're going to have a film night as well, yeah.
And what kind of films will that be?
So I think that's going to be 2 short Palestinian films. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so that'd be really nice as well to meet people before the actual conference. But it's usually such a really nice day. It's an amazing day, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So this is the 3rd conference? Have I got that right?
Third, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, I'll be speaking about the Teaching Through Crisis series and giving some
that's great.
Activities that you can do with the learners as well, related to hands.
Oh, right, yeah. Hands up project, yeah.
Yeah, drawing hands the easy way, because hands are not easy to draw.
No.
But yeah, they are fun. Would you like to share your story with us just now?
Share my story about Johar?
Yeah, so will I share some of the pictures that you sent me over time?
Yeah, show some pictures.
You can talk me through them, and then you can tell the amazing story. Okay, so am I going to share the right thing though? Okay. Okay, can you see? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so this is my little group in Hebron. Amazing little group. And these kids have to go through a checkpoint every morning to get to school. So they have to face armed soldiers every morning, every time they leave school. Sometimes they're not let through, sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. And it's just such an amazing little class that I've got. So this was a story that I did. I just did the Hungry Caterpillar because they were talking about health at the time and food and health. So they really, really enjoyed this story. And after that, the teacher got them to make some nice little videos about the story and to choose their own fruit and veg that they wanted in the story. So, yeah, so they really enjoyed that. And that was a nice, easy one to start with. Easy doodles, easy pictures, easy doodles.
Yeah, it's lovely. And I hadn't actually thought about the Hungry Caterpillar being about health, but it's a really nice way of including fruit and vegetables and healthy foods in class.
Yeah, and they talked about Palestinian food. On Tuesday, the Hungry Caterpillar ate through one portion of maklube or one kanafe, or so they talked about their food as well. So that was really nice. Yeah.
Oh, good. They get personalize it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, and these look absolutely beautiful. I love these. So it's Hands Up Project, and they've drawn around and cut out their hands.
Yeah, so these were my ESOL students that did this.
Okay.
So yeah, so we were talking about belonging. We just had a lesson on belonging, and it was to tie in with Refugee Week.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about what it means to belong, to be part of a culture, a different country, and how important it is to feel that sense of belonging. So so we just painted some nice hands, some Mendy patterns, and then I put them on just a really cheap canvas backing, really reasonable to buy, and that's on my wall in the classroom, and I do that with every class. So I've got a wall full of hands.
Amazing, it's so nice, and it adds some colour. I don't know about our classrooms can be quite beige. I think.
Yeah.
It's lovely to add a bit of colour.
Yeah.
And a bit of the students' lives as well, but of their own lives.
Yeah. And we acted out Benjamin Zephaniah's play on that one. Passport to Nowhere, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was really good. Yeah.
What's that play about?
It's about refugees.
Okay.
You've got a passport, where you're from, No, I haven't got a passport. You know, wherever you, it's about this sense of belonging.
Okay.
That's in the remote theatre book that Nick produced.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was an entry 3 level 1 class, so they were quite good readers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I keep meaning to check out that play actually.
Oh, it's a
So,
brilliant play. Yeah, brilliant play.
and tell me about this one. This is Joha and the Smell of Soup. I don't know. I think it's a bit actually, but hopefully everyone can see it.
So last year the Hands Up conference was in Belfast.
Hey.
And I was really inspired. And I was really inspired by your story of the big fish of Belfast.
Oh yeah.
Because it was just such an amazing story. I went to see this fish in Belfast. I thought, wow, what's this and what's the story? And then I saw you doing the graphic facilitation for it, and I thought, wow, that's great. So I've started doing that for now, for every story, some doodles and some pictures for every story that I tell. It just helps with that language development and that sequencing. So this one's called Johar and the Smell of Soup.
Oh, cool.
So
Do you want to right now? I'll stop sharing so that you can be big. And then okay, go for it.
So Johar and the Smell of Soup. So have you heard of this character Johar, Emily? Have you heard of this character Johar? So he's very, very famous in Middle Eastern culture.
Okay.
So sometimes in stories it's called Nasruddin, sometimes it's called Johar. Excuse me, sometimes it's called Hodja. But it's very, very popular in Asian culture, stories of Asian culture. So usually if you tell a story about Johar, usually some of my ESOL classes say, I remember that from when I was young at school. That's a story that I learnt at school, or my parents told me. So quite often they've heard these stories before. But there's lots and lots of lovely Johar stories in the Hands Up Project guide, Stories Alive, which is a free online resource from the British Council.
Okay.
So there's lots
of send that link as well.
Yeah, that's a really, really great resource. And that's another one that Nick wrote, Stories Alive, British Council.
Great, okay.
So Johar and the Smell of Soup. So here's some delicious soup. What's your favourite soup, Emily? What soup do you like?
Oh, lentil. I know it's a bit boring, but I really love lentil soup.
Me too. I like lentil. My favourite's leek and potato. I love leek and potato soup.
I quite like really spicy minestrone.
Yeah. So at that point, I asked the kids what their favourite soup is, and they gave me lots and lots of lovely answers about what their favourite soup is. And then, once upon a time, there was a man who was very, very hungry. He was so hungry. But he had no money to buy food.
What was he going to do?
All he had was one stale piece of bread. That's all he had. One stale piece of bread. And he was starving. He was so hungry. And one day he was walking down the street and he could smell some beautiful soup. He said, if only I could eat some of that soup. It smells beautiful. I wonder what that soup is. Is it vegetable? Is it leek? Is it meat? What is it, that soup? It's delicious. It's beautiful.
Looks good too.
And he thought to himself, he said, if I hold my bread over the soup, then maybe my bread will take in some of the delicious smells of the soup. So he held his bread over the soup and he turned it around and around, just hoping that some of those beautiful smells would get into his bread. But then, oh dear me, something happened. The chef, he got really angry. He said, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get away from my soup. Get away from my soup. Here he is.
Oh, he looks angry.
He looks angry, yeah. So I asked him here, what words do you think he's saying? Go away. Hey, you, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So the poor man, he didn't know what was wrong. He didn't understand. He said, please, please, all I'm doing is just holding my bread. I did not steal the soup. I did not taste the soup. Please, please, forgive me, forgive me. And at that point, Johar comes along and he says, what's the matter here? What's wrong? The poor man did nothing. The poor man did nothing. He just held his bread over the soup. I want some money for that soup, said the chef. I want my money. Give me some money. Give me the money for that soup. That man stole my soup. And Johar and the man said, no, no, I didn't. I didn't steal anything. All I did was hold my bread over the soup. So Johar said, he got a little bag of money, like this, and he said to the chef, here is your payment, chef. Here is your payment. And the chef went to take the money. But Johar, at that point, he shook the bag and he said, here is your payment. For the smell of soup, I give you the sound of money. For the smell of the soup, I give you the sound of the money. And that's a very good lesson in life, isn't it?
Yeah.
For the smell of the soup, the sound of money. So Johar was a very clever man. That's a clever man. He's a very he's a very clever man. And he comes out with good proverbs and good good
lots of morals in every story.
Yeah. And that's the story.
I really loved your way of using props there, just like bringing it right next to the camera.
Yeah, I have this little bag. Do you like it?
Yeah, it just really brings it to life, having lots of like realia there.
But it's such simple doodles, such simple drawings that give out a lot of expression, can elicit language.
Yeah.
What do you think he's saying? What do you think he's saying? And, so
amazing that when there's connectivity issues and you just show them a picture, you know that they can still the picture themselves, even though they can't maybe hear you at that particular point.
Yeah, that's right. And to get them involved, I often do like chants as well to get them involved in different parts of the story.
Okay. So what kind of chants would you do for Johar? Or
so this story, I would get them to say, what's that smell? It's so nice. It smells like soup with vegetables and spice.
Nice. Good rhyming there.
So I get them to stand up and say that to the camera. I know what to do. I know what to do. I'll hold my bread over it and the smell will come through.
Nice.
So we just do. Oh, he seems to have disappeared.
I've disappeared? Oh, I've maximised you because you're showing pictures. So I'm taking it at the moment.
Yeah, so I get them to make chants and then I make little story packs. So this is one called the olive tree.
Oh, wow.
So the story packs have got the doodles in and the pictures and the chants. And
do you send them electronically to the kids so that they can?
Yeah, so I can send these to the kids. So I can send these to the teacher or take a photo of it so she knows what sort of things I'm going to be talking about. And each story pack comes with like an activity as well to do after the story. So for this one, I usually talk about smells, favourite smells. What's your favourite smell? So I have 2 little poems that I read out. What smells do you like? What smells don't you like? So we talk about stuff like that, and they might, the class in Hebron, they love making videos. So they'll quite often retell that story in a little video, send it to me. In class, the teacher might get them to do a bit of writing maybe about this kind of thing, or might get them to retell the story or to talk about their favourite smells and things. So yeah, so each pack that I make has the doodles, the chants, and a little after activity.
Oh man, that sounds brilliant. I'd like to get my hands on them. Are they available widely, or are they just for hands up at the moment?
No, you can have them. Yeah, can share them with anyone. I don't.
Oh, cool. I think we could put them on the Teaching Through Crisis website if you're up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Cool.
I have about 10 story packs that I've made so far. of all different stories.
Wow. Are they on the Hands Up project page?
No, they're just all hard copies, just like this at the moment. So I don't know. But I suppose we could take pictures of them, or could scan them, send them electronically, something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're brilliant. Amazing.
So that's what my story sessions consist of, which are inspired by you. I do the doodles, that's the main thing. And that really, really elicits the language, because straight away, as soon as I hold up the doodle, they're looking, they're thinking, oh, what's the story about today? And what's happening in that picture? What's the face doing? What's the face saying? So you can get a lot of language from just a simple emoji typeface. And
you could actually, if you have all those pictures, you could get a completely different story every time as well, actually.
Yeah.
If you got them to create their own.
Yeah. And I loved your song that you did, your what's it called? A Lovely Day?
Oh yeah, Lovely Day.
Yeah, I loved that one. I love that one. So I always try and do little things like that in the classroom just to get them thinking when they come in. This is made my ESOL class, and I did that thing that you did about how are you feeling today with all the doodles, with all the different languages, and
the Lovely Day one, for those that aren't aware, it was for, I do it in the Chris Walcott course that I've got with the musical doodling, and it was basically during lockdown when I was teaching literacy learners over WhatsApp, more or less, because they weren't really very confident with Zoom. We had a few Zoom sessions, but we were doing a lot on WhatsApp. And I just thought they needed some cheering up. Everybody needed some cheering up. So
that's right. Yeah,
it was a lovely day, and I doodled the story and I doodled the lyrics to it, sent it to the students, and then we all sang it over WhatsApp, and then sang it again in Zoom. So
yeah, great. I love that, and I loved your what else was it that you did? Big Fish of Belfast. That was great, and then that one. And how are you feeling today?
Just the emojis. I think you've got these ones. Hold on. Yeah, these are the emojis.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so basically just learning how to draw a few simple, basically copying emojis.
Oh, the pronouns you did. The pronouns, they were really good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the pronouns video.
And you did a really good post. I use it all the time about capital letters. When do we use capital letters?
Oh, actually, I just realised that I'm still maximising you. These are the emotions. Don't need to maximise you anymore. About capital letters. Oh yeah, it was like a giant sketch, basically a visual recording.
Yeah.
Sketch note that I basically filled the entire wall of my. And we've got one wall in my classroom which is all like a whiteboard, and then there's another smaller whiteboard. So I basically filled the smaller whiteboard with a giant sketch note in capital letters.
Yeah.
Share that. I've only shared it with my mailing list. I do try to keep some things just for my mailing list people.
Yeah.
That's just for mailing list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I might make it more widely available.
Yeah, but I use that all the time.
Oh, do you? Oh, good. Yeah, I feel like I should do more of that kind of thing, actually. More kind of, pre-prepared content, I suppose, for folk. Okay. Yeah, thanks so much for coming on. You are always inspiring. In fact, there's that one last thing. Harry and I spoke about this last week. We were talking about reduce, use, recycle, repurpose things in our webinar that we did last week about doodling, I suppose, green graphics. And I was talking about this this story. And basically, it starts off with a jacket, doesn't it? And then
I love this story. It's got to be my favourite story. I think I just love it.
I love it.
It's an old traditional Jewish tale.
Okay.
It's an amazing story. Yeah, so the grandfather. So it's a poor family. The family have a baby. They're all really happy. Really, really poor family. But the grandfather's an amazing tailor. And he makes the baby a beautiful red coat. And the baby wears it in the rain and he wears it in the sun. and he wears it when it's cold until it gets holes in it, gets little holes in it. So the grandfather has to repair it into something else. So he makes it into a hat, and the baby wears it in the rain and wears it in the sun. So it's got all this lovely, lovely repetition to it. Eventually, it just becomes a thread. And the man, by this time, because he's grown up, is very, very upset about the loss of all these amazing things that his grandfather's made. And his grandfather says, no, we've made the best thing of all. We've made a story. And your family and your kids can tell their children. And yeah, so I just love that story. Yeah, it's great.
And just random thought about the red coat that gets repurposed, but then the story that gets repurposed and retold as well.
Yeah, that's it as well. Yeah. And I got my students to think of different things that the red coat could be recycled into. Yeah. So they came up with things like scarves, gloves, all kinds of things. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Amazing. I want to be in one of your classes. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Well, most of the time,
do some remote theatre and do
most of the time it's just boring exam stuff.
Sorry?
So most of the time it's just boring exam stuff.
Is it? That's not the impression that I get.
No.
The impression is that it's all fun and games.
Fine, yeah.
Didn't realise there was exams. Oh, that takes the fun out of it. Cool. Okay, well, thanks so much for coming on and for sharing all your amazing, inspiring activities.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, thank you for inspiring me, Emily. Thank you, and I hope you continue to inspire others with your blog posts and your courses. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure this video is going to inspire lots of people. All these videos. Yeah.
Is there another course I can do? What's the next course I can do?
Weirdly, randomly, I'm still. Yesterday, I tried to make my sketchnoting course live on my website, but I was just getting the Circle of Doom. But I'll try again today. I'm hoping that I can. The sketchnoting course will be live, and then people can maybe learn how to sketchnote before IATEFL, perhaps, or before the Hands Up Project conference.
Oh wow, that's good. Yeah.
If the website works. So if it's me, I can figure it out. But,
and are you going to get people doodling at the Hands Up Project conference?
I hope so. Yes. My activity, my talk, my session is going to be on the Teaching Through Crisis resources that National Geographic have compiled and the professional development videos there. But within those professional development videos, there are quite a few really cool activities that I'm going to share. So we're going to be drawing hands and identity texts and something else that I can't remember off the top of my head. But I don't want to give the secret away either. So
yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah.
Good luck with your bike ride. Good luck with your
Thank you. So basically I'm cycling from Glasgow to Harrogate, 250 miles. It's going to take me about 3 days to raise money for the Hands Up, because as you've seen, they are amazing and they do deserve. And I chose them partly because Susan has been so inspiring in talking about them, but also because they're a small organisation run by ELT professionals. So I know exactly where the money's going. I know it's going to be spent really wisely. So I want to raise money for them this year. You can donate at www.emilybrysonelt.com, and there's lots of information about the Hands Up Project conference on my site too. I put that there because last year when I was cycling too fast, people kept asking me for the donation link and I could never remember it. It was like this. I think like justgiving.com/something else. On my homepage this year, and then I'll remember it.
Oh, that's amazing. 250 miles in 3 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well done.
Over the Yorkshire Dales as well.
Wow. It's like
the Pennines.
Yeah.
So, not entirely sure this is the wisest plan, but it'll be fun. It'll be fine. As long as it's not too rainy.
Yeah.
But I'll never need to draw it. Draw it as a story at some point as well.
So I'll see you at the Hands Up conference then.
Yes, Hands Up conference Saturday the 22nd of April. It's only £15, so if you are in or near, please come. It will be amazing. There's going to be lots of cool things, remote theatre, storytelling, loads of cool talks, films, etc. So, yeah. Anything else to tell everybody?
No, I think that's it. I'll see you there. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I've been looking forward to meeting you in real life too.
Yeah, we can meet each other, yeah.
Yeah. Great. Cool.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Right, bye everyone. Bye.
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 Now just to figure out how to press stop.